Still at Edinburgh Film Festival, and I saw some more movies, so here's some more reviews. The next film I saw was Gwen, and I really liked it. Easily my favorite aspect to this movie is its visuals. The framing, shot composition, lighting, and overall look of the film was pretty spectacular. It's probably one of the best looking films of the whole year. The stunning location choices also really helped out the visuals. The film's just a visual beauty. The set, costume, and overall production design of the film was pretty spectacular. Every performance in the movie was absolutely phenomenal. The characters were all interesting and I found myself very invested in them. I especially enjoyed the dynamic between the mother and her children in this film. The dialogue was all pretty great. Bar one scene which was kinda laughable, I enjoyed the horror in this movie. This is a rare case where for the most part the jump scares in the film were done really well. However, the film opts more for tension and an unsettling atmosphere than anything else. There's a really spectacular scene in the film where Gwen's mother is staring at a candle, but the way it's shot and acted is just so creepy. Now, since this is a horror movie, stupid decisions are kind of a given. However, in this film I was able to excuse it because most of the time stupid decisions felt in character, and most of the time the decisions weren't even that stupid. Quite honestly, I'd be willing to call this a great movie, but it has some issues that kinda weigh it down, mainly the pacing. This film, despite its very short runtime, feels like it drags on at points, and I kinda wanna say that this can be blamed on the lack of musical score, but then when the film uses a musical score, it isn't very good. The entire musical score bar one scene was just pedal. And the one exception from pedal just sounded like stock movie music. Sure, the end credits song was great, but I feel like this film could have very much benefited from a better musical score or better pacing, or both. Outside of that, I don't really have any major issues. One of the scenes was edited pretty poorly. There's one plot aspect I found to be kind of predictable. I felt the last line of dialogue could have been better. Quite honestly, this film's score would have been an entire point higher had it not been for the pacing and music. Overall though, this film was pretty damn good and I really liked it. It's kind of comparable to The Witch in a way, which is one of the best horror films of the decade in my opinion. And considering how my audience was reacting when I left the theater, I have a strange feeling it will be similarly polarizing. As I was leaving the screening, I could hear a lot of people saying, well, at least the film looked really good visually. This is a very slow burn type of movie, and a lot of people are going to find it boring. Again, the film could very much benefit from a musical score of some sort. This movie is much more in the vein of a stereotypical A24 horror movie than a stereotypical Blumhouse horror movie. So if you like this kind of thing, then definitely check it out. Or if you don't, check it out anyway, because this one might surprise you, because it was really damn good. And I'm giving Gwen an 8 out of 10. It is much closer to a 9 than a 7. Maybe it'll be a 9 on rewatch, I don't know, but for now it's an 8. The next movie I saw was Them That Follow, and I was kind of let down. This isn't because the marketing implied this film was a horror movie, which it very much is not. I went into this movie having seen no trailers whatsoever. I was expecting a drama, and I got a drama. The issue comes in that the film has tons of potential that it never realizes. The acting is all phenomenal, the film's pretty great on a visual level, the production, costume, and set design was all fantastic, the film had a great musical score, the dialogue was spectacular, the characters were interesting. At the start of the film is all very tense and atmospheric, but then the film just kind of loses you pretty damn quickly. It became kind of uninteresting at points, largely because the film's incredibly predictable. I wonder if they're going to call back to this one thing they drew a lot of attention to. I wonder if it will be important to the plot later. Oh wow, they called back to it and it was important to the plot later. It did not help that some of the characters were just flat out stupid. There are many scenes in the film where characters make stupid decisions and it is never explained why, or their reasons are absolutely terrible. The acting was great, but there were slip-ups from mainly every actor. The only actor who did not slip up at any point was Walter Goggins, delivering one of the year's best performances so far. He is pretty much the only good thing about one scene where they're trying to get the evil out of a little boy and Walter Goggins has to yell in his face, and his performance is great, but the whole scene is just so unintentionally funny. He's just shaking this little boy and yelling "get out" over and over again. I felt like I was watching Bird Box. Overall, this film isn't bad by any means. I found a lot of scenes to be tense and entertaining. It's really well acted. There's a lot to appreciate about this movie, but it's just got a lot of wasted potential holding it back. And this is definitely a movie I'll never be watching again. Overall, I definitely recommend this movie, but if I were you, I'd keep your expectations a little lower than the great premise implies. And I'm giving Them That Follow a 6 out of 10. Stay tuned for more Edinburgh Film Festival content coming soon. That's the end of this video. Like, share, subscribe, and bad outros, and I'll see you in whatever I do next.